Hello ladies and gents, I'm the Dapper Rat, and today I do have another different video than usual. Don't worry, I'm going to be getting back to For Honor content rather soon. But another game that I've usually played for a while is Dead by Daylight. And recently, they added their new developer update for update 7.5. They released the PTB and stuff like that. And overall, there's some good changes. They're trying to, like, challenge certain things in the game that have been broken for quite a while, and I think that's rather good. I like the change of the FOV slider. That's pretty interesting. A little bit of background on me or on my interactions with Dead by Daylight. Back on PS4, I used to play Huntress on DBD and as a killer main, and then as I switched over to PC, I got more into Blight, and Blight's fun, but let's be honest, he gets boring pretty quickly and then pretty often. So the second main that I had was Onryo, and it was like old Onryo, not the change that just happened, but the old Onryo. And honestly, I really enjoyed her. I really enjoyed her playstyle. It's a good change of pace for the Blight, and they relatively had the same MMR. Like I had about the same skill level, the same kind of survivors on both of them. Mind you, that's not to say that like Onryo was able to challenge Blight. It's like, no, like my Blight games I was able to relax and like just chill out, while Onryo I was like trying my best. But it was good enough to see that like I had similar MMR about the two of them, and I'm honestly quite happy about the Onryo change here from what I've read. It intrigues me. I want to test it out because it feels like they're bringing back her old playstyle, because the previous change, it hurt. Like I felt like I wasn't playing the same killer anymore, and I kind of stopped playing the game after that, because I only really played Survivor with my friends because the solo queue is kind of hell. And when I played killer, it was like I played Blight or no one else, which led to the game getting boring pretty quick, because my other favorite playstyle in the game kind of got not nerfed, but changed to a point where like it wasn't my playstyle anymore, you know what I mean? And then, you know, they have some interesting changes for Hillbilly, and overall good ones, getting rid of the overheat mechanic. But what I want to go over is Blight's add-ons. And now, before I get into it, let me just say Blight had it coming, okay? He was the best, if not the second best killer in the game. He's fighting for the top spot, or he was fighting for the top spot against Nurse. And he did have a few things that were problematic about his add-on specifically. His kit, I guess you could say, is problematic, but it's not a huge deal. And also, I think Blight was one of the few killers where it's overpowered done right, because unlike even killers below him, every single counter that works against a low tier killer that's just doing M1 also works against Blight, and when he's using his like ability. And to clarify what I mean is that like pallets work against Blight the same way it works if he was just using M1. Same with windows and stuff like that. Like they all counter him, whereas other characters, kind of like what's her name, Artist or Huntress or stuff like that, you can't play around these loops the same way. Not that you can't play around them the same way, but you can't trust that you're gonna be safe doing certain things, unlike Blight. So like he was powerful done right. He didn't like break any of the rules or anything like that, or had any trickety tricks or anything. It was just, he was pretty straightforward, and that's why I think it was overpowered done right. But he did have it coming. He did need a nerf, and he did need some add-ons changed. I am not happy with a lot of the add-ons, and with a lot of the add-ons changed, not because they were nerfed, but because the way that they were nerfed shows that the developers don't know what the fuck that they're doing. And this has obviously been a sentiment for a long while, but it's like there's no way that like it's very lazy is what I'm trying to get at. What they did was very lazy. So just to run through Blight's stuff really quick, he had his Blighted Rat and Blighted Crow switch. He said, so they say that these add-ons are fairly strong, making it far more difficult to get out of the way of his rush in time. We have reduced the rush speed bonus of these add-ons to 2% and 3% respectively. It was 4 and 6%. Now, fair enough. These were honestly, these were really great add-ons. The biggest problem that they had was the double speed add-on. When you ran both of them together, it was 10% per additive rush. So your first rush was always normal speed, but then your second rush was 10%, and then I don't remember if it stacked, where it was like your third rush was like 110% and then 10% of that, so it would have been like, what, 121 if I'm doing my math right there. I might not be, to be honest. And that was problematic, and I can admit that was problematic. Now, on their own, they were not that big of a deal, because once you got to the point where the speed was really rough for the survivors to deal with, he was on one of his last rushes. This also means that as a survivor, if you manage to dodge or like outplay him and he misses that rush, he has to let all those tokens recharge, just like his base kit, which is fine. And honestly, I'd be okay with them making it so his base kit took a little bit longer for these charges to come back, just to make it a little bit more punishing for using all those rushes. But I don't know, that kind of is counterproductive towards gameplay, I guess, with Blight's kit. But the change that I would have done for this, and if they had any passion towards this game, I believe that they would have done this as well, is that either make Blighted Rat or Blighted Crow, doesn't matter, make one of them 5%, so it's between the two of them, or even 4%. I could stick with one of them just being 4%, like just keep Blighted Rat, and then completely change the other one to not even be a speed add-on, because double speed was the biggest problem that they had with both of these together. It was the additive 10%, but on their own they were still good, but they weren't so incredibly oppressive that on their ones that they needed a nerf. But now what they've done instead is that now you have to run 2 of these perks just to get the use out of what used to be one of them. There's no passion behind it. They're just gutting it because they don't want to deal with it. And the devs are known for doing shit like this, and it's very bothersome. But they got rid of it because they didn't want to deal with it anymore. People were complaining about it. They probably didn't even fucking think about how to change it, so they just fucking gutted it. And this also, because I know I'm gonna get these comments. I know for a fact I'm gonna get these comments where it's gonna be like, oh, this Blight main is crying that his add-ons are shit. Don't you know that a bunch of killers have shit add-ons? I'm like, yes, I do. I do realize a lot of killers have shit add-ons, but the solution isn't to make every other killer's add-ons dog shit as well. Like I said at the start of the video, Blight had it coming, but this change is fucking retarded, because if they did this change to an even worse killer, people would be up in arms and angry about it. Like, it's so stupid. It's such a dumb change. And as for what they would do, like, personally, even, you know, I'll throw them a bone. I'd say, like, just keep Blighted Rat how it was before. Keep it at the 4%, and then change Blighted Crow to, like, be maybe, I don't know, an information add-on or something different. Something that has to do with the crows in the constant, crows in the fog, because, it just, like, it kind of makes sense. You know, Blighted Crow, and then you have something to do with crows. Like, I don't know, there's, like, a synergy there. That would make sense. But that change just bothered me because it was just fucking stupid. Like, it's just, there's no passion, no innovation, no nothing. It was horrible. Like, they're cooking, but it ain't gourmet. So I just wanted to fucking vent and get that out here and whatnot. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you next week with a For Honor video, hopefully. So with that being said, farewell, ladies and gents.